going on with a lot of different people in my life, and I'm going to share some of that as I go on with this story right now. But all the things that are happening brought to mind the time that I was in Thailand, and with this band that I've shared with you about, and my nephew, Brandon, is here with us today. He came over to Thailand and drummed with me for a while. So it was just beautiful. Yeah, thank you. Great to have you here. And so when I knew that I was coming back home to the U.S., and I'd been with this band for 5 years, and so we had done a number of songs. And I didn't know what I was going to do when I got back here, and I certainly knew it was going to take time to try to put a band together, if I was even going to. So I thought, I had the brilliant idea that why don't I just go in the studio. There was a gentleman there who I had done a lot of recording with, had a wonderful studio there on the island, and so I thought, well, why don't we just go to Gary's studio and record some of the songs that we do every single night. So I thought about 110 songs that we, yeah, okay, so you're starting to get the picture. But 110 songs that we had done, since I was there, and I talked with the guy in the studio, and I talked with my keyboard player, Michael, and I said, I want to do 110 songs before I leave. We've got about 2 months to get it done. And they said, yeah, we can do that. Great. So I'm happy, and I'm a camper. Well, I was at a gig with Michael. We were at a resort. It was just a duo on a Sunday afternoon, and they let us have lunch before we do the gig. So we were sitting there, and we were having lunch, and Michael said to me, "You are one of the most difficult people, women, I have ever known." I'm sorry, what? What do you mean? Because I think I'm a sweetheart. Oh, look, they're laughing like she did. And so he said, yes, you just waltzed into the studio and said, we're going to do 110 songs in 2 months. And I thought, oh, was that a big deal? He said, yes. Okay, so can we do it? Well, we can do it now because we've been thinking about it, and you just walked in like we could do it, so now I guess we can. And that's what I want to share with you today. Today is about the art of connection. What does it mean to connect with people? And why is it so important that we do? When you look at Maslow's hierarchy of need, Maslow, I always call Maslow, it's Maslow's hierarchy of need. Love and belonging is in the 3rd level. After that, we're going into enlightenment, which is the 5th one. And we're heading towards service and all of that in the 4th one. So the 3rd one is love and belonging, the hierarchy of human need. So we need to belong. And belonging is about connecting with other people. And what happens for me, and I think what happens for spiritual people, and certainly what we're going for, because that's what we do when we say namaste. It means what?
I reckon the light in me sees the light in you.
Exactly. The light in me sees the light in you. The God in me, the divine, beholds the divine in you. And so right there, we're already connected. We're already connected. What happens is, of course, we forget that. Because this human body, the different sizes, different colors, the different ways that we speak, gives the appearance that somehow we are separated. But we don't believe in duality. We don't believe that there is a separation at all. There is one presence. There is one power. And that is God the good, omnipotent. And we are connected always by that spirit. So what happens for me is that when I see you, I already see the greatness in you. I do. So when I asked them to do 110 songs, I already knew what they were capable of. I know how great they are. I knew, and sometimes we don't know how great we are individually. We don't. And we need others to shine that light, to look and to think and to expect great things from you, because they already know who you are even when you don't. Even when you don't, we do. That is why we have this tribe of like minds. That is why we show up and we come together to help each other remember when sometimes it's hard to remember who we are. So, what does it take to be connected with one another? So the last couple of weeks, you guys, I told you about the times that I spent with Oprah, her and her 17,000 closest friends. We spent some time with her a couple weeks ago talking about our vision for 2020. This past weekend, I spent some time with my sister, his mother, and she and her husband, they're ministers, and they run a marriage enrichment ministry. It's called Marriage Enrichment. I've never heard of it inside their church, and it was the most glorious time. And I was invited to speak. I did it on the 5 principles and practices of prosperity. And the connection that I felt with these people, with these couples, 45 couples showed up to pour into their lives, to expect great things from each other, and to be around other people who expect great things as well. And the connection that they wanted to make with one another takes being wholehearted. That's what that big heart is about. This is what Brene Brown tells us. We have to show up wholeheartedly if we want to be in relationship. And certainly if we want to be in relationship with God. We have to surrender entirely and trust completely. I was listening to a talk. I went to my brother's graduation this morning over in some part of Fort Worth this morning. It was at 9 o'clock. And the gentleman who was speaking from Abraham. And I'm going to do a talk on that because it was just so amazing. But the bottom line of it was that the person who believed in God was so willing to trust what God was telling him that he was willing to sacrifice his son, to actually kill his son on the altar. And I'm going to do a talk on that because it was so amazing. But the bottom line was the trust. How much do we trust God? What is our understanding of what God is in our lives? Because when we do, we can show up wholeheartedly. We can open up our lives and not be afraid to be who we are, to love entirely, to not leave anything on the table, to show up authentically and say, this is me. This is who I am. Scars and all. Love me. I belong. That is what connection is, and that's what we get to do. That is what we're called to do, actually. We are called to love unconditionally, scars and all. And that's what we're here to do. And that's what connection means. So what is our vision? We're going to be talking today. I'm not going to talk long because we have a lot to do. We have a meeting you guys know about, and there's a lot that we're going to be talking about. So I'm not going to talk long. And so we can get to the food. That's always important when we get home.
And then David. And then David Roth.
And then don't write in David Roth this afternoon. Right. So there's a lot going on. Our vision has been to be joyous, to be enlightening. That's our purpose, to be transforming, life transforming. How do we do that? We do that through connection. We do that by showing up authentically. And the thing is this, in any relationship, you have to lead with love. You have to be the first to love. Because when you do, you open the door for someone else to love you. I'm going to repeat it. When you are in relationship, you must be willing to be the first. And I'm sorry, I didn't say that the first time. I said you must be the first, but you must be willing to be the first to love. To show up and to say, I love you. I see you, whoever you are, whatever you are, however you're showing up right now, I see you, I love you, I accept you exactly the way you are, and you be the first to do that. Because when you do, you begin to build trust. And now they are able and willing to show themselves to you. Be the first. One of the things that when I was traveling in Asia, and everywhere that I went, everywhere that I go now, I'm acting like it was overseas, but it's not. It's here, it's everywhere that I go. I am naturally a smiler. I was when I was at the Marriage Enrichment Conference. Oh, it was just yesterday. Gosh, it felt like it was so long ago. It was just yesterday. Wow. And so they fed us. We had breakfast and lunch. And so I was sitting with a couple of couples, and one of the ladies got up to go get some more food for her and her husband, and she was walking back. I was getting ready to walk down the hallway, and she was walking like this. And her husband was right. This is her husband. Her husband's there. She was walking like this. Like that. And I know, and I was walking past her, and I said, stop that. Get that look off your face. And she goes, oh, was I looking crazy? I said, yes. I said, yes. It's like you were pissed off because he didn't go get the food or something. She goes, oh, no. That was nothing. It was just my face. Okay, well, I got to watch you, girlfriend. Got to watch that face or do something out of message. She has what my niece, his sister, calls RBF.
Yes.
You guys know what that means?
Yes.
Okay? I'll tell you later. I don't want to say it from here. But RBF, I'll let you clue in on that. But it's a resting face.
Yes.
Your resting face is itch with the B face.
Yes.
Oh.
All right. So you're still looking crazy. I'll tell you later. But anyway, so if that's your face, and that's how you're showing up, you want to think about that. I just naturally smile. I smile all the time. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because I can't tell you how many doors it opens. And I'm not doing it to open doors. It just does. So many people share their story with me because I'm smiling. And I'm in Walmart, the people store. And I'm just walking. I'm just, smiling. People going by. I'm just doing my thing. I'm telling you, 20 minutes this woman was telling me her story. 20, I'm not kidding. 20 minutes. It's a good story, actually. But it was 20 minutes. And finally I said, well, love to meet you. It's great to meet you, homie. I really got to go. Got to wrap this up. But that's everywhere because people need to be seen. People need to be heard. And anyone that opens the door for that, they're going to talk to you and share their lives with you. And so if that's what we are, and we're talking about connection, and we're moving forward in our 2020 vision, we want to talk about connecting with each other. How do we love one another here right now and become attractive to those looking for us? We know about the law of attraction. We as a group are developing and creating. We have the law of attraction as a group. So what are we attracting to one another? So right now, what I want you to do is look at your neighbor, if there's a neighbor around you, and just say, I love you. I see you, I love you. Turn to the other neighbor and say, I see you, I love you. Yeah. I see you, I love you. It's beautiful. Not only to say to someone, to hear from someone that they love you, it's not only, what's that?
The smiley side anyway.
Not only to be able to hear from someone that you are loved, but how does it feel to even say to someone that you love them and the light in their eyes and what you are doing for them, what we do for the world. We keep talking about Imagine Peace in America and all of that kind of thing. It begins with us connecting and accepting and loving everyone. Now here's what I want to clarify, and then I'm going to get going. I'm going to get out of here. What I want to clarify is, because you love people and you see who they are, doesn't mean they get time in your life. You understand? We love and accept people. This is how do we do it? How do we connect? No, this is it. This is how it goes. That was it. How do we connect with people? Well, we love and accept them, right? As we are looking at them, in our face, we're not judging. But everyone is not on the same path that you're on. I was at a place today, and I loved what the gentleman was doing. I loved what he was speaking, but it's not what I believe. Okay? I understood what he was talking about, and I rearranged it in my mind to say, okay, this is how it would work from my perspective. But I'm not going to hang out with someone who is not part of my tribe. It just causes confusion and aggravation and judgment. I'm not going to do that. So because I see who he is, he's a person of God. He is one with me. It doesn't mean we're going to hang out together. You understand? We get confused thinking that because we love you, we should let you hang out. No, not really. Not really. We get to pick and choose the ones who support where we are going, what we're trying to do, and where we are going. Everyone is not going where we're going. Doesn't mean they don't deserve our love. Okay? Doesn't mean that. Just doesn't mean they're all necessarily going to be in our circle. That's all it means. So try to get your mind around that, because there's only X amount of time in our lives. Only X amount of time in our lives. I don't have enough time to be around everyone in my family that I want to be in. I was talking to Jason on the phone yesterday with my husband, and he was talking about what people always say when they retire, things that they want to do. Because he had a coffee plaque with some gentlemen where he lives now. And they were talking about retiring, and the wives wanted to spend more time with the grandchildren. And so we were talking about that, about how the reality of that. I came back here to the U.S. because I missed my family. And I wanted to spend more time with the grandchildren. The reality is, I live here in Texas. One group of grandkids lives in Idaho, one group lives in Colorado, and one group lives in California. How much time can I spend with them? And I'd love to spend weeks with them, but that would be weeks away from this vision that I have of my life for my spirituality. So the reality is, I don't even have enough time for the people that I love. So that's all I want to say, is that we are connected and we are loving one another, and that's our job. That's how we do it. So as we move forward, let's just think about that. How we connect to one another, what it really means. Showing up, being wholehearted, being your true, authentic self, warts and all, saying to everyone, this is me, and I will not hide who I am. Accept me as I am. That's true connection. That's what we're here to do. Yeah? All right. Thank you.